host of topics and get Gerald Celente's take on it. The TSA now operating in major cities like Dallas, you name it, doing the grope down there. And now they're saying, hey, we're not going to let you opt out. They're not announcing it, but they're doing it. You will go through a scanner and be groped. And we're going to do it on the side of the highway. I want to get into that with him. But as we went to break, he was getting more into this awakening. But, you know, the term Yankee Doodle was, if you study history, was a redcoat insult against the colonist rebels. A Yankee dandy was basically, it meant an effeminate man in a fancy outfit. Okay? A Yankee Doodle dandy. So it was a big insult. It was saying effeminate men dressed up like women. Basically, it was a sexual reference. And so the colonists said, you know what, we'll just take that name from you. We're Yankee Doodle dandies. Watch how dandy we are. Watch what we do to you. Okay, watch how we stomp your guts into the ground. And so they call young people Generation Zero. And I agree, those plugged into the New World Order, they have become zero. But zero is where you start over. Zero is where you begin. The globalists are minus a trillion. And sure, the young people are zero. They can decide they're going to go up or down. They're at that equilibrium point. That's what I have to say on that point. So I think we should take their insult name, telling younger generations like Generation X or millennialist or anybody else that they're trash, and say, you know what, you're trash, and I'm going to make something of myself no matter what you tell me. I don't need your Ritalin, your Prozac. You may have shipped my jobs to China or Mexico, but I'm going to make the new economy. Gerald Celente.
No, you're right. Zero starting from the beginning. And again, it's Generation Courage. And every young person out there, please understand that you create the future, and that anyone that tells you that you don't is trying to rob you of your dignity, your self-respect, and your courage. And they're trying to enslave your soul and deny from you the God that lives within you, or the God that you believe in. You create the future, and if you let them create the future for you, you're not going to like it. Like you take this guy, Rick Santorum, talking about God and about his, I'm sick and tired of these phony Christian BSers. I've had it up to here. I'm sick of this phony little altar boy, Rick Santorum, telling me about Satan and what I have to believe. Here, Ricky, check this one out the next time you use Jesus Christ's name in vain. He wouldn't bomb Iran, you got it? He wouldn't start other wars, you little chicken hawk, with the size of cojones, about the size of a moth, a little smaller. Jesus Christ wouldn't kill other people because you don't like them, Junior. So what I'm telling the young people out there is to listen to what they're hearing and create the future that you want.
Well, very well said, Gerald. Look, I personally am a Christian. I have a real relationship with God, and I know you're... No, but I'm going to expand on what you're saying. You look at him, you can tell he's Eddie Haskell. You can tell it's totally fake. You can see him vote for the Patriot Act. You can see him support bailouts. It's all talk with these guys. It's all a big joke. It's like Newt Gingrich saying he's a Christian when he wrote stuff bad about Christians decades ago. To them, it's all an act. To them, it's totally fake. And, you don't hear him talking about how the CIA is using Al-Qaeda in the Arab Spring. No, it's all talk with Santorum. It's all about selling out our sovereignty, and it's disgusting. It is disgusting to see them use religion on people. I agree with you.
Yeah, and all of them. Rick Perry, Herman Cain, Michelle Bachmann. Remember, they all come up with that line, God told me to run. Hey, guess what? God struck out 0 for 3, I mean, who are these people? Enough of this Jesus selling. Yeah, it's a lot of crap. But anyway, moving forward, Alex, gold prices, as we speak, just shot up $20 an ounce. Gee, wonder why. Oh, isn't this brilliant? I got a good one for you. let's put sanctions on Iran, start tightening up the oil spigot, and all of a sudden, what's oil selling for now? Oh, $122 a barrel, Brent crude. Hey, brilliant, man. Go back 10 years ago. What was it selling for? Gee, son of a gun. $20 a barrel? You mean to tell me that oil's gone up $100 a barrel? Oh, you mean to tell me in 10 years gold gone up from $280 an ounce to $1,780 an ounce?
That's actually a six-fold increase in oil. That's almost six-fold increase. Gold, what is it, a seven-fold increase, eightfold?
So that's what you have. Now the little CNBC sellouts, you know, those guys that bow down, suck up, and eat up anything that they have to keep pumping up the markets. You know, they used to call people like me gold bugs. Why did gold and oil go up? No. It's not demand. That's only a small part of it. It's because they're devaluing the dollar. They're driving everybody into slavery. That's right. Because now interest rates are down near zero. You're being forced to put your money into these baloney equity markets. And all of you older people out there that are on Social Security, you're not going to get cost of living increases. Why not? I'll tell you why not. Because there's no inflation. I just made that oil number up, right? Because they don't add food and fuel into the core inflation index. They're devaluing the dollar, and like any good fascist country, they're cooking the numbers. Oh, and talking about fascism, you heard me say it, Alex, from the beginning. I said anyone that's calling, and this is going on for years, anyone that's calling Obama a communist, a Marxist, a socialist, you got it wrong. The merger of state and corporate powers, by definition, is called fascism. And what did Ron Paul say a couple of days ago? America's turning fascist. That's right. They're ready to enslave you. And if you don't fight back now, Jack, you're dead.
Well, Ron Paul has come out and said the CIA's had a coup in America and brings the drugs in. He has said that it's turning fascist and it's accelerating, and it is. And it's, you know, the good news is there's a silver lining in the bad. At least now we've been validated, we've been made credible. And folks, if they do actually attack Iran on the low side, oil's going to probably go to $200 a barrel, which will kill our economy for 5-6 months. It might go to 300. If they actually shut down the Strait of Hormuz, the effects of this, and now, as I said they would do, Gerald, they're hyping terror attacks in America and putting armed guards outside federal buildings, including Social Security offices, harassing citizens and saying Iran's going to attack. I think a false flag is really in the cards ahead of an attack on Iran unless we get the word out on it.
I agree. I've been going to your site. I've been seeing the great work that you've been doing, particularly the one about, oh yeah, they're going to bomb the Statue of Liberty. Oh yeah, right, then the Washington Monument, you know, and then the White House. I mean, come on. And you know how they do it all the time? Every time that there's an anniversary of something, all of a sudden they close down the highways. They have checkpoints everywhere. It's fascism. That's all it is. Let's call a spade a spade. And America has turned fascist, as I predicted. And as I also forecast in the Trends Journal years ago, when they first started these bailouts, it's there for everybody to see. I said when the bailouts fail, the recovery is no recovery. The next thing they will do is take you to war. And they're ready to take us to war against Iran. And if we go to war against Iran, it's the beginning of World War III. So get out those yellow ribbons. Put up those flags. They bought into it before, and they'll buy into it again. You know, Alex, I heard Michelle Obama out there last week going to troops and telling them to eat their broccoli and eat healthy. Oh, that's right, Michelle, so they could send them over to another fake war to get their arms blown off, their brains blown out, so that fascism could continue on the course that we've set. Because we are moving into the first great war of the 21st century, and if people don't stand up and speak out and stop it, it's going to be a terrible future.
All right, let me put something out here. Exactly, it's like we're going to have you clean the tank cannons and the tank guns that are full of DU. That's a death dose without even a gas mask on or without even a breathing mask. Even though our own manual said it's going to kill you, it'll take 10, 15 years, but it will. But eat your broccoli, and we're going to steal your death benefits, which they signed secret deals 12 years ago to do. But because we say we love you, and thank you for your service, thank you for your service. It's all this fakeness as the criminals, just like they wrap themselves in Jesus, they wrap themselves in the troops. But you mentioned an article 2 days ago by Kurt Nemo. I think the guys have their microphone open there at the network, guys. Continuing, sorry. Former CIA boss says Iran will attack Statue of Liberty. And I didn't even cover this 2 days ago. When Kurt first wrote the article, and it was linked all over the news, them saying this like it was serious. I've seen James Woolsey speak at UT in person. I've watched him on the news. He has absolutely no credibility and comes off like a scam artist, con artist. If I was going to hire somebody in a movie to play the part of a disingenuous scam artist, or something, I would have somebody like James Woolsey as the character. And here he is. They want to blow up the Statue of Liberty, this archetypal image of what the bad guys are going to do. Gerald, give us your take on that, because, you mentioned it. It is so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a false flag. Hey, Alex, you know that Saddam Hussein?
And that's what I thought might have been going on with the back talk and chatter. Did we lose Gerald Celente?
No, I'm here. You hear me? Hello? Hello, Alex? When you mention Woolsey, whatever his name is, they're all scam artists. Look at the guy that's the head of the CIA now, Petraeus. The New York Times, he was the former general that was going to win Afghanistan. They used to say that, he had a Boy Scout charm. Oh, isn't that wonderful, a Boy Scout charm? Just what you need. It's all a con game. Look at the meetings that they have over in Brussels as they're raging Greece into poverty. You see Christine Lagarde, the head of the IMF, all of these other flunkies, they have red carpets rolled out for them. No, the whole thing is a charade, and that's what people need to know. And you mentioned, I was thinking of the word when you hear Santorum. This other guy over there, Christie over in New Jersey, all these people talking about Jesus Christ, Perry, Bachman, all of them, Gingrich, you know what they are? They're Jesus freaks, because Jesus would freak out if he saw what they were doing in the name of his good name and how they're degrading it. So I want to make this clear, Alex. You're looking at gold prices going up. You're looking at oil prices going up, and if people aren't prepared for what's going to happen next, it's their fault. And I'm making it very clear, I do not give financial advice, but if you have your money in the bank, if you think Charlie Schwab is taking care of you, you deserve what you get if your dough isn't in your pocket, or for me, in precious metals.
Gerald, you're absolutely right. Continue breaking down where you see this going, because, again, seeing that Gerald, you've been accurate predicting what they're doing, and they come up with these cartoonish type deals. I remember Fox News 6 years ago showed images from that was Independence Day, where the aliens are blowing up all the monuments.
and they actually showed a video from the film with the alien craft blowing up the Liberty Tower. But the tower wasn't even called Liberty, so they called it Liberty Tower, even though the building wasn't called that, because it sounded better, and then showed the building blowing up and said, Al-Qaeda wants to blow up Liberty Tower, they want to blow up Liberty. I mean, they go to the most sophomoric Hollywood, popcorn deal, Al-Qaeda, who openly works for these same criminal bankers, and the CIA, Mossad, MI6, Al-Qaeda is going to blow up the Statue of Liberty with just no evidence. And it's a guy that looks so shifty, he makes Eddie Haskell and Hitler look like good guys.
Well, again, you mentioned the word Hollywood, and that's all politics is. It's show business for ugly people. How could Americans have any respect for themselves when they look at the cast of clowns in the presidential reality show that are going to tell them how to run their lives? And by the way, the other term I've had it with are these people calling themselves lawmakers. Hey, listen, Junior, I don't need anybody to make any more laws for me. So when you look at what's going on, it's Hollywood. It's one cheap show. And we've proven, Alex, we sent out a trend alert about a month ago. We did a major story. Here it is, in the Trends Journal. The thorium alternative. You know how they're screaming about Iran is going to have a nuclear facility, and from that they could make, with the uranium, they could turn it into weapons. Well, here's the story. When they began nuclear power back in the late 50s and 60s, they had two alternatives to go to: uranium or thorium. With uranium, the waste byproduct, the feedstock, could be used to make nuclear weapons. Now, those of us old enough to remember, that was during the height of the Cold War, when the imbeciles had you hiding under desks as a little kid, or putting your
Tell you what, stay there, Gerald. Sorry to interrupt. Come back and explain that they chose uranium because that was going to be the byproduct of the weapons industry instead of the thorium, which they can't make nuclear weapons out of and is a lot safer. On the other side with Gerald Celente, and I do intend to try to jam in a few phone calls as well. We'll be right back. His website's trendsresearch.com.